The epic legends of Odysseus have been immortalized in massive Hollywood blockbusters, but the films completely hid the most bizarre, scientifically shocking truths of this ancient myth. Today, we are investigating 5 incredible facts about the Odyssey that you will never find in any movie. Let's expose the secrets that you would never even think to search on Google. Case number 1. The legendary draft-dodging tactic that Hollywood decided to cut. When Odysseus was summoned to fight in the Trojan War, he desperately wanted to remain home with his wife and newborn son. To avoid service, he pretended to go completely mad, yoking an ox and a donkey together to plow his field with useless sea salt. However, a clever soldier named Palamedes exposed the trick. He placed the baby directly in front of the sharp plow. Odysseus instantly halted the animals to save his son, exposing his sanity and forcing him into battle. Case number 2. The iconic Trojan Horse might actually be a historical translation error. Naval historians hypothesize that the colossal wooden horse was never a hollow land sculpture. In antiquity, Phoenician trading vessels featured a beautifully carved horse head on the bow and were called hippoi, which translates directly to horses. The Greeks likely left behind a ship of this specific type as a diplomatic offering. Alternatively, they used a horse-themed battering ram covered in wet hides to protect against enemy fire, which later chroniclers misinterpreted as a giant, hollow wooden animal. Case number 3. The magical antidote to Circe's magic really exists in your local pharmacy today. In the epic, the cunning sorceress used a potion that turned people into pigs, but the messenger god Hermes gave Odysseus a mysterious plant called moly to protect him. Modern toxicologists believe she used a real plant, datura, which contains atropine to induce terrifying hallucinations and memory loss. The magical moly matches the physical description of the common snowdrop. Snowdrops naturally contain galantamine, a compound used today to treat dementia, which works as a direct medical antidote to atropine poisoning. Case number 4. How extinct dwarf elephants accidentally birthed the terrifying myth of the Cyclops. Paleontologists exploring Mediterranean islands like Sicily have discovered fossilized skulls of ancient, long-extinct dwarf elephants. Right in the absolute center of these skulls is a massive, circular opening, which was actually the animal's nasal cavity for its trunk. Ancient Greeks had no knowledge of living elephants on these islands. When they discovered these massive, fossilized skulls, they logically mistook the singular, giant nasal opening for the one central eye socket of a terrifying, mythical humanoid giant. Case number 5. The ultimate test of identity involved a bed that was physically impossible to move. At the end of the epic journey, Penelope tested Odysseus's identity by ordering her servants to move their marriage bed. Odysseus grew furious, knowing the deeply hidden secret of the bedroom. He had personally constructed the entire bed frame around a massive, living olive tree growing straight from the ground, utilizing its strong trunk as a permanent bedpost. Moving this unique bed without chopping down the tree was physically impossible, instantly proving his true identity. Which of these epic Odyssey secrets shocked you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments and click the next video on your screen to keep exploring the mind-blowing secrets you'd never search on Google.